president, however, posting on Truth Social this morning that the Strait of Hormuz could reopen if Iran agrees to a deal, and if it doesn't, to quote the president here, the bombing starts. That raised Brent just a little bit. For more, Bloomberg Washington correspondent Tyler Kendall joins us now. Tyler, get us up to speed. As I say, it's been a dynamic morning in Washington. It's been a dynamic morning around the world as we've kind of processed all of this news. What's the latest on these negotiations over, again, that one-page memo?
Well, David, it has been a fast-moving morning when it comes to the headlines, and President Trump here is essentially ramping up the pressure to get an agreement over the finish line, threatening that the U.S. could resume military operations if Iran does not agree to a deal. Still, within the last hour, the New York Post reported that President Trump still says that it is, quote, too soon to talk about any preparations about another round of in-person talks that would essentially be needed to finalize any deal. People familiar with the matter do tell us here at Bloomberg News that Iran is reviewing this one-page memorandum of understanding that you had mentioned, and that they are expected to respond within the next 48 hours via Pakistani mediators. It is our understanding that this agreement would see a gradual reopening of the Strait of Hormuz in exchange for the U.S. lifting its naval blockade. Axios put a little bit more of a finer point on the details, including that this could kickstart a 30-day negotiating period where we could see curbs emerge on Iran's nuclear program. This has, of course, been the big sticking point for this White House, that they want assurances that Iran could put into effect a moratorium on uranium enrichment, for example, though at this point it's still unclear exactly what those details will entail. And we should say also at this point, nothing has been agreed to. In fact, we heard from administration officials so far throughout this week urging caution that a fractured leadership in Iran does pose the risk to derail any potential progress. But still, David and Bonnie, yesterday, the message from the administration was very clear that this U.S. Government wants to take a defensive position and that they don't have any intent to strike Iran unless Iran strikes first.